America's broken dream, inside Texas's growing homeless crisis. Texas is an economic powerhouse, the second largest in the nation, with a population of over 30 million people. But behind the glitz and prosperity, a silent crisis is unfolding, a devastating wave of homelessness. And Dallas has become its epicenter. In just a few months, thousands of families have lost their homes, their once promised American dream now a nightmare of sleeping in cars and scrounging for leftovers. In this video, we'll journey into the darkest corners of America's second-largest state to expose a truth hidden behind the city lights and oil money. Dallas is just the first chapter of a much larger story about a fragmented, often called the shining gem of the American South. Its glittering skyscrapers, bustling neighborhoods, and packed stadiums paint a picture of endless prosperity. By day, the city glows with success, and at night, its lights shine like a never-ending galaxy. But a different Dallas lurks in the shadows, a harsh, unforgiving city where thousands live in conditions few want to acknowledge. As of early 2025, over 3,700 homeless people were recorded in Dallas County alone. This isn't just a number, it represents the lives of thousands of individuals caught in a daily struggle for survival. Turn a street corner, walk under a bridge, or venture into a deserted alley, and you'll see the opposite reality: makeshift tents cobbled together from plastic tarps and cardboard, and tired, hollow faces hidden in the shadows. This is the Dallas of uncertainty and forgotten lives, a hell hidden within a prosperous city. For thousands of homeless people, Dallas is a battlefield. They are left behind while the economy booms, deprived of the most basic human right, a home. These faces are never featured in travel brochures or success stories. They exist quietly, overshadowed by the sparkling lights of high-rises, revealing a bitter paradox. The richer and more glamorous Dallas becomes, the deeper the chasm between prosperity and despair. The Dallas homeless crisis isn't a natural phenomenon, it's a result of mounting problems: skyrocketing housing prices, stagnant wages, a limited healthcare system, and social stigma. It's a vicious cycle that pushes people out of safe homes and onto the streets. Dallas is a city of both light and darkness, a testament to prosperity and a failure to protect its most vulnerable citizens. Broken system and unseen numbers. Imagine waking up in Dallas to find a new row of temporary tents where your familiar office building or park used to be. The crisscrossed tarps and piles of trash are no longer a rare sight. According to official figures, complaints about homeless camps in Dallas have increased by 45% since before the pandemic, from 8,000 to over 11,000 cases. But for local residents and business owners, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The problem is the city's fragmented and uncoordinated management system. From the Office of Homeless Solutions to the Department of Water, multiple agencies have a hand in the problem, but no one is truly accountable. The result? Temporary solutions that only clean up the mess for a moment. Tents are removed during the day only to reappear at night, an endless cycle like an unhealing wound. What's most frustrating is the gap between what's said and what's seen. The city government claims the situation is improving, but people living in Dallas know it's getting worse. City councilors have even publicly questioned the official numbers, calling them beautiful figures for presentations. While conferences take place in luxurious, air-conditioned rooms, the reality on the streets is the exact opposite of what the reports claim. When a wealthy city like Dallas can't find a definitive solution, can we trust that other place? Criminalizing poverty. In many American cities, homelessness is increasingly seen as a crime rather than a social problem. Local governments have passed ordinances banning outdoor sleeping, tent setups, and even sitting on sidewalks. These regulations are sold as public safety measures, but they effectively turn poverty into illegal behavior. Thousands of people who have lost their homes now face arrest, fines, or criminal records simply because they have nowhere else to go. Human rights organizations argue that these policies only tighten the spiral of poverty. Someone arrested for sleeping in a park will find it nearly impossible to get a stable job, making it almost certain they'll remain on the streets. While authorities justify these actions by citing the need for order and safety, they spend millions on police patrols but only a fraction on affordable housing or mental health services. The law seems to protect the clean image of the city rather than the basic human right to shelter. This raises a critical question about social justice. As new luxury hotels and high-rises go up, the people pushed to the side of the road are treated like a blight. The long-term solution must go against the logic of criminalizing poverty. Instead of fines and arrests, cities need to invest in temporary housing, mental health care, and job opportunities. The Housing First model, which provides secure accommodation as a first step, has proven to be more humane and cost-effective than repeatedly punishing the homeless. The vanishing American dream. For older Americans, a home was once a symbol of stability, a place where families gathered at the end of the day. But that dream is now more distant than ever. Streets that once housed middle-class families are now filled with "for sale" signs and "for rent" notices, with prices out of reach for most. Rents in many cities have skyrocketed due to a boom in real estate investment, foreign capital, and large financial funds buying up residential areas only to rent them out at exorbitant rates. The situation is dire for the elderly on fixed incomes, many of whom are forced to choose between paying for medicine or rent. This rising cost isn't just affecting seniors, even young families are trapped in a cycle of paying off debt and finding themselves unable to save enough to ever buy a home. Is the American dream still alive, or the invisible link, homelessness and mental illness? Behind the all-too-common sight of emaciated, aimless people on city streets lies a harsh truth: homelessness is inextricably linked to mental illness. Many people who once had stable jobs and families found themselves on the streets after a psychological event with nowhere to turn. Once homeless, their access to mental health care plummets to nearly zero. They have no insurance, no address, and no way to pursue long-term treatment. This vicious cycle is evident in makeshift homeless camps. Unaddressed mental illness pushes people onto the streets, and the unsafe environment of the streets worsens their condition. Residents living near these camps express fear and concern, witnessing more and more erratic behavior. It's a testament to a broken social system that allows people to fall into a situation with no way out. The ripple effect of a broken system. Dallas, a city once hailed as a dynamic hub of economic growth, now faces a troubling reality. The homeless crisis is not just a humanitarian issue but a serious economic one. Small businesses in central areas have been forced to close as customers stay away, and property values decline. Local residents feel increasingly unsafe, and community trust is eroding as they feel the government is powerless to protect their neighborhoods. The crisis is also damaging Dallas's image on a national scale. Once a magnet for investment and tourism, the city's growing tent camps cast a shadow over its economic outlook. When external confidence wanes, new businesses are afraid to invest, tourists go elsewhere, and the economic damage becomes even harder to control. Dallas isn't alone, it's a mirror reflecting challenges facing cities across the nation. The big question is, can a wealthy country like the US build a system that prioritizes people over reports and numbers? If not, what future awaits generations to come?